Sorry, y'all. Okay, we're here. Lisa's going to present, and then we will move on to the next part of our agenda. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's always nice when we can figure things out within a few minutes. Hopefully we didn't lose everybody while you were waiting for us to figure out the technology on our side. I have just a couple of updates for the Expanding Quality in Infant Toddler Care Initiative. Sometimes at this point we share celebrations of courses that have completed. No new data has come in. We have 3 or 4 classes ending across the state in the next 2 weeks. So I have those certificate requests in. Thank you. We don't need to, at the next call, we'll update you with some more numbers. And so we just want to thank you for keeping up the good work of ensuring, being the facilitator of the EQIT course across the state. But wanted to highlight, oh, now my slides aren't moving. A second piece that we facilitate, of course, is the professional development for the Infant Toddler Specialist Network, and we wanted to highlight a few of those things that are coming up in the next day, and as we look forward to the rest of the fiscal year. So we have here listed, and we'll send these slides out after the call. The EQ initiative is co-sponsoring 5 sessions at the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference because we recognize the lack of content focused on infants and toddlers at times. So all 5 of these sessions will be relevant to both infant, toddler, early care educators and to coaches. Also, they'll all be in the same location, which is in the Tower building on the mezzanine level in the Denver room. So if you happen to be at the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference and are looking for some quiet, it's the room the farthest away from the exhibitor hall. So come on over and stop by and say hi to us. Incidentally, last month when we talked about we were going to have a Module 12 revision training, which ended up being the one snow day that made it impossible to complete the event. So Eva will be facilitating a piece of that Module 12 in that same room, in the Denver room in the Tower, from 4:30 to 5:45 or so tomorrow, which is Friday. And there is a reception happening at that time, so we would welcome you to bring whatever beverages or snacks you happen to acquire and come participate in that training. It's not restricted to EQ instructors. Anybody could pop in and join us. And again, if anyone has any questions as we're going along, be sure to pop those in. We did want to give another reminder about the EQ statewide meeting to hold those dates, May 22nd through 24th. The 22nd will be a coaching refresher. The 23rd will be a full day on learning stories and approach to assessment that's out of New Zealand. I think it's going to be a really fun and exciting day, and aligns with a lot of the indicators in the QRIS. So I think there'll be some fun overlap for people who do multiple jobs and wear multiple hats in their communities. And the 24th being that meeting day where we will have some time for role-alike discussions and focus on our strategic work relevant to infants and toddlers. More information regarding travel support for this event will be coming out in the next 2 weeks after you have had the time to take a breath after completing your budgets for next year. We do have, we got a couple of questions this week about renewing a coaching credential, and we wanted to let everyone know, and this is applicable to all coaches, there is a process. If when you go to renew your coaching credential, you're a little bit short on reflective supervision hours, there's a process for requesting an extension to meet that deadline. So please feel free to reach out to Eva or Lisa or Michelle. We all can describe a little bit about how that process works when your coaches go to renew their coaching credential application, because we know that credential has been in place for 3 years. And now a lot of people are ready to renew, but the capacity for reflective supervision took a little bit longer to catch up on. So we wanted to let people know about that. A reminder that we will have an Infant Toddler Specialist Foundation course in 2020. So now is the time to be finding those new infant toddler specialists in your community. One of the things, our third sort of piece of our work, of course, is supporting your leadership and collaboration so that you can act on behalf of infants and toddlers in your local community. And so we just wanted to share with you two new resources that just came out this week. It's so exciting. It's so exciting that funders, policymakers are interested in infants and toddlers and recognizing what practitioners have known, that this is where the good work happens with babies. But and I always find that when someone tells me about a resource and it kind of shows it to me, I'm much more likely to use it. So I wanted to just take a minute to show these two resources to you. One is called the National Collaborative for Infants and Toddlers, and this is funded by the Pritzker Initiative. They have decided that they would like to increase the services broadly across the country for infants and toddlers by something like 75% over the next 5 years rather. And so they've built some really nice tools and pathways to support states and local communities to act on behalf of infants and toddlers. So that source is sort of a looking forward. It's got some nice data tools that you might want to use to look at the impact of your work relevant to infants and toddlers. And then the second resource is the State of Babies Yearbook for 2019. Now, 0 to 3 has, for several years, had a State of Babies, state baby fact sheets, and this is a muscled up version of that. That's a phenomenal tool. It has a really nice framing, and I would encourage you to take a look, and that's a data snapshot right now. It has some great tools, including marketing tools, where you're talking to community stakeholders about what's going on for babies in your communities, and where, nicely, Karen pointed out, we're doing a lot of great stuff in Colorado. We're doing well. We're kind of winning at the state yearbook, so that's a fun piece to take a look in there. So I would just encourage you to take a look at those as you think about what the good work that you're doing in your community. And I do see that there is a question here. Can the coaches continue coaching without the extension as long as the process has been started? Yeah. So the general expectation is that if you're going to renew your coaching credential, you should start that renewal process before your credential expires. So you look back at your coaching, you should have 3 years ago received a certificate that had the date of your coaching credential on it. So you want to start that renewal process before that credential expires. And we know it's a new process, and I think don't feel, if you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, it expired last week, reach out and talk to somebody. It's a good idea to start about 3 months before your credential expires, so that you can get all those pieces in line and ensure that the review of that credential can happen before your credential expires. So thank you for that question. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to us with any other questions. Okay. Thank you again for all the work that you do on behalf of babies in your communities, and we look forward to seeing you at the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference if you'll be there.
Thanks so much, Lisa. And we're all looking forward to seeing you as well at the conference. Please be sure to stop by the Colorado Shines booth. We will have pins and ribbons for attendees who work at high-quality providers, so we're excited to be able to recognize them that way. We're going to pivot back to Elizabeth Nevares for the Child Care Resource and Referral Update, so hold on just a moment and we will do that. I got a little ahead of myself, y'all, so let me go back to the previous one. All right. Wait, no. Elizabeth, I think, do you have, can you unmute your microphone so we can hear you? Hold on just a moment, y'all. on just a second. She's typing in the questions. Sorry, y'all, we are really missing Monica today, so hold on just a second. So the best thing to do, Elizabeth, is click where it says audio and dial in on the phone and use the audio pin if you're able to. So hold on just a moment, y'all. Thanks for your patience. So we'll give it just a few more minutes. So let me see your audio pin, Elizabeth, and I will. Your audio pin is #164#, and that will allow me to unmute you. So I think we're almost there, y'all. Thanks for your patience. Okay, Elizabeth, I've unmuted you.
Yeah.
I think it should. There we go. Thank you.
I am so sorry about that. There's something going on with my system. My apologies. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can. Thanks so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much for the platform. I highly appreciate your time. So the first thing that I want to share, last time that I spoke to you all at the state TA last month, I mentioned something about a survey and wanting to learn a little bit more from your community and how we can serve families better. So I want to circle back to that. I have the survey ready to go, and I just want to go over it. It's not that lengthy. We don't have a lot of questions to ask, but I think this will be super useful for us to learn a little bit more about your community and kind of connect and see how else can we assist your families from your area, and what else can we do to in order to provide a meaningful service. Emily, if you wouldn't mind, is there a way that I can share my screen with you, or is it not possible?
Yes, I can make you a presenter. Hold on just a moment.
Okay.
All right, I sent you over the request, or we can see it. Perfect. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Perfect, of course. And just to make sure you guys are able to see the SDA Community Information Survey, correct?
Yes, that's what we see.
All right, perfect. I have so many tabs open. I just wanted to make sure that it was the correct one. All right, so here it is. This is the survey. It's a total of 5 questions. It's not a lengthy survey. And basically what we want to learn is a little bit more from your community. So the first question here is just to identify your SDA, your service delivery area, so we know who you are. Question number 2, sometimes we may have questions regarding a specific family situation. Who is the first person to contact in your organization? So this just refers to, handling client requests that are a little bit more challenging. We may need to brainstorm a little bit more on a family situation, and we may need your support around that. We may want to learn a little bit more on what other options are out there for the family. So we would love to connect with you in those instances. And so if you could just let us know who is the best person to contact whenever we need additional support to help a family. And then on the provider side for question 3, sometimes we receive questions for providers that we may not know the answer to. We may need to send them to somebody that is able to update their information in Salesforce, or is able to connect them with classes or training or anything like that, anything related to to providers. Who's the best person so that we can send that childcare provider to? That will help us, make the connection better and ensure that that provider is getting all of their questions answered. And then question number 4, are you expecting any new trends in the next quarter? We just want to know ahead of time if you have something, in the works that may help us serve those families better. Summer care is around the corner. We're gearing up for that. Is there anything special that we need to know about your community when it comes to summer care? CCAP information, anything like that. So if you wouldn't mind kind of providing an answer on that one. And then the last question, which I am very excited about. So this one is, how can we better serve your community? And I would encourage you to write whatever you feel that will help us a little bit more, um, uh, you know, when it comes to serving families in your community, providing the referrals, anything that you feel that will help us along the way, I would highly appreciate that. I'm hoping that this survey is a good way for us to connect with you. If you have any other questions or any other, suggestions as to what else we can do in order to make this connection a little bit more meaningful with, our office and your community, I would highly appreciate that. So I will send this survey either today or tomorrow. So you should expect that in your email. And yeah, please help us out. I am highly excited about this, and I think this will help us a ton with, when it comes to serving families in your community. So that's that. And then the other item that I have for you, this is actually a shout out. I just wanted to give a shout out to OEC, Denver Preschool Program, and DPS. On the week of the 11th, we had a special situation going on. There was a strike with DPS teachers, and that affected kiddos who were 3 to 5. And so we were kind of scrambling how to help those families, what other alternatives we could provide for them. And so we worked very closely with OEC, DPP, DPS, and also Denver Early Childhood Council. And I mean, this was a very meaningful experience. I think we all had, uh, you know, we learned a lot from this experience. And I just want to give a shout out to all of you. I mean, I really enjoyed working with you and trying to figure out how we can help those families better. So that was really meaningful for us. So I just wanted to provide a shout out. You did really well, and I'm looking forward to working with you all. Of course, not in that type of crisis, but other ways that we can connect and help our families better. That's pretty much what I have. Do you guys have any questions?
If y'all have questions, please don't hesitate to submit them through the question box. And we just appreciate how customer service focused you all are at the call center, both in terms of supporting the OEC and the CCR&Rs, but also just the families and the people of Colorado. Thank you for always being quick in your responses and solution oriented. So I will look and see if we have questions.
Great, thank you.
All right. I don't see any coming through, Elizabeth. If you don't mind staying on a couple minutes, and I can shoot you an email if we get one that comes through.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time. I highly appreciate this.
You're welcome. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Next, we wanted to take a moment to introduce you all to Josh Franklin. He is working at Clayton with the ratings assessment team, and we're delighted that he is in this position. He's, as you all know, January ratings are supposed to come out today, so the timing of this webinar is a little tough for him, but he's here, and I'm going to go ahead and unmute him and let him introduce himself to you. So hold on just a moment. Josh is in the position that Tracy Corner held, so we're glad that Tracy is still in our world, working over at Denver's Early Childhood Council, and that Josh is able to join us. So Josh, if you are here, I see your phone's unmuted, I think. If you say
Yep, I'm here.
Cool. It works. All right, take it away.
All right. Yeah, and if you want to do share, so I can share my screen, I can do that real quick because I have a real quick PowerPoint, just kind of introducing myself and everything. So, all right.
It should be coming your way.
Let's see. So
we can see you.
You can see the PowerPoints.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good.
Sure.
Okay. Can you see that all now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So yes, my name is Josh Franklin. I've been at Clayton Early Learning for a month now. I think today's my month anniversary. So I just want to introduce myself. So that is me. So you have a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics and a Master's of Education in Curriculum and Instruction. For 13 years, I taught math, secondary math in Mapleton Adams 12 and Denver Public Schools. And I taught most struggling students to AP Calculus, English language learners, a lot of different populations. So, I love teaching to pursue a career in data, something more technical, and I kind of landed in this position, which was kind of great. I saw, a lot of students that didn't start school ready to learn, in kindergarten and whatnot. So this position kind of came up, and I wanted to, work really hard with people to get students ready for kindergarten. So my early childhood experience is maybe a little limited, but I do have a little boy who turned 5 last week. So I've been in a preschool pretty much every day for the past almost 4.5 years. So yeah. So yeah, this is the organizational chart here at Clayton. Melissa Swain is my boss. She's the Director of Quality Assessment Services. And then Maria Dolan and I work really close together. She is in charge of the Colorado Shines Quality Assurance. And then I manage the data and analysis. And I have 2 incredible data associates, Thierry Godet, and he is actually going to be presenting at the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Council Saturday. So stop by if you have any questions. He'll be talking about the rating system and evidence documents and stuff like that. And he's, amazing and very knowledgeable. So if you're there, stop by and see him. And then Robin Hutchins-Jones is also incredible. So you can contact me. There's my email. My email is jfranklin@claytonearlylearning.org. And then also, if you can't remember that, or if you kind of have some questions, ratings@claytonearlylearning.org comes to me and then some other people. So and that's my phone number. I am new. I can't guarantee I'm going to answer your question immediately, but I will follow up and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If I don't have the answers, I'll find someone who has the answers and get back to you. So if there's any questions, please ask.
Great, y'all. Please submit your questions through the question box and we'll read them to Josh. And Josh, can you help us with, you have a couple email addresses up here. So if you have providers that have questions about in the rating queue, you want them to use the ratings@claytonearlylearning.org. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter because I kind of get both of them. Right now, since I'm new, ratings might be a little bit better, and it's kind of dispersed to a couple other people who can help me out. But when I'm kind of up and kind of up to speed with everything, they're all going to come to me. So either way, I'll get them. So yeah, either one, I think either one I can answer any questions. So if you can't remember Jay Franklin, just remember ratings, and it'll come to me. So
Great, thanks so much, Josh. Y'all, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Josh or to us. We're happy to help you, and we're excited Josh is on board. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Next, we're gonna pivot to oh wait, I just did something where I can't make myself the organizer. So hold on just a second. Got ahead of myself, y'all. We're gonna do Jen McDonald and the PIS courses. So we are on our way. So just a moment. Yeah, I'll switch places with you. Okay. So let me make myself the presenter. All right, and then Jen, here, I'm gonna hide these things so you can see it.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen McDonald. I'm the manager of the training and instructional design team here with the office. We primarily focus on our online courses that are in the PDIS, and so I just wanted to give a little update on some of the courses that are coming up, some a part of the PDG, others that we've been working on for a while, and a couple of updates to the PDIS course catalog. It might look a little different starting this spring. So real quick on your screen, you can see we have a total right now of 59 courses in the PDIS in English, and 17 of those are in Spanish. These are some of our categories. So right now we're up to 26 level 2 courses. 13 of those have been translated. We have our pre-service and orientation ones, and then we have our social emotional clock hours. As of February 7th, we're now up to 3.5 hours of social emotional clock hours in English. And that's exciting because, as you probably know, the requirement for folks is 3 hours of social emotional training. And that's one that we've been getting asked about for a long time. So that is the current state. So right now we have over 3 hours in the catalog. And coming up, I'll show you we have a lot more coming. So real quick, I just wanted to give you an update on some of the courses that are new. Just within the last month or so, we have done some updates to the Prevention of Abusive Head Trauma and Shaken Baby Syndrome course. When we know that folks take that course every year, we get about 30,000 completions on that course. We have over the last couple of years. So we did some updates to it, especially for those folks now who've taken it 3 years in a row, right? So the other course, the exciting one, is Nurturing Healthy Sexual Development in Children. That's the latest social emotional clock hour. It is an hour and a half. It's also a level 2 course. The feedback on that course has been very positive, and it's one that we're really excited about. We are doing kind of official communications and rollout of that in April to align with Child Abuse Prevention Month, but know that it is out there and available now. The other big one is Injury Prevention for Child Care Centers. It's one of our largest level 2 courses as far as hours goes. It's 2 hours, and it does have a prereq for playground safety, which is more hours on top of that. The feedback on this particular course has also been really positive. I get excited when I read evaluations that say, I'm glad my boss told me to take this class. So stuff like that makes me happy. I think people are finding some value in it. We've tried to gamify, I think is the word. This course, and you get points as you go through, and it ends with a game and stuff like that. So those are our 3 latest and greatest. And then Along with that, I wanted to point out we have a new printable list of courses that's organized around the competency domains. It can be found on the OEC website, which you can see some instructions here on your screen about how to access that. It's kind of buried, kind of deep. It's also available on the PDIS course catalog page at the top of the course catalog. In the PDIS, you can find a list. This printable list of courses lists all of our 59 courses by competency domain and also lists whether or not they count towards level 2 clock hours, whether they're available in Spanish, and whether they count towards social emotional. So trying to make this easier for folks to find. And I don't know where the question thing, I can't see if anybody has questions.
Here's
Sorry,
the
right there.
question.
We're good? Okay.
If y'all do, just don't hesitate to submit them.
Jen, will we see more courses that are meeting the level 2 requirement in the course catalog?
I'm so glad you asked, Karen. So this is our list of courses that are coming up over the next couple months. So these should be published by the end of June 2019. This is separate from PDG. These were ones we already kind of had in the queue. You can see on the list here of, I believe it's 8 courses, that all of these courses are counting towards level 2. And 7 of them also count towards social emotional clock hours. The reason behind this is, as we're going forward, we're making a commitment to having most, if not all, of our courses count towards level 2. And the thinking behind that is our courses, in theory, should contribute to quality and therefore should count towards level 2. So that's kind of where we're going as we move forward. But as you can see, we have a lot of courses also coming up that will be available as social emotional clock hours and also available in Spanish. Many of these courses focus on infant and toddler care, but we also have some other exciting ones. Recognizing the impact of bias is one we have out right now that was targeted towards mental health consultants for their work. We found the reviews on that one very positive from the provider perspective, and so we've revised it so the scenarios are more from a provider's perspective, and we're publishing it specifically for providers. So that should be coming out by June.
So, Jen, will there be 2 or just 1?
There will be 2.
Okay.
There will be 2. They are pretty much the same course, but there will be 2.
So one's a little bit more for the health consultant, and one's a little bit more for provider.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So that's middle of the year. By the end of the year, these are some of the courses that we should be publishing, we will be publishing. And you can see that most of them, again, count towards level 2 and social emotional and will be translated into Spanish. The exception to that is the courses that count still as our pre-service and orientation courses. Those are considered basically your level 1 courses, really. So that would include standard precautions there. We are planning, really hoping this time that we can get standard precautions offered as an online course. This is a very big deal for providers. Right now, we haven't been able to do that, and there's a lot of kind of reasons around that, restrictions that we've had to follow through OSHA, but we're hoping that by the end of this year, we should be able to offer standard precautions as an online course. And yes, I will share the slides, and we can share the slides, right, Emily, with the group after the fact.
Absolutely. So these are just courses that we were planning to do before we got the PDG, right?
They were courses, so we have a long wish list of courses that we talk through here as an office and prioritize. And then the PDG allowed us basically some extra funding so that we are working through, we work on basically all the writing part here, and now we've gotten extra funds to outsource the development of these, which has made it possible to move through our queue a lot faster. Again, we're really excited about these. They're focusing on infant and toddler care, a lot of them. We're also looking at a course on the benefits of becoming a CCAP provider, which we're really excited about. Program transitions, for example, preparing kiddos to move on to kindergarten as an example. So we're going to get a child development course up there, which we are very excited about too. So some good stuff to fill out our catalog. Great. So.
I have to say, I was one of the people that got to take the injury prevention course before it was released, and it is really fun.
Oh, good. Okay. Any questions on upcoming courses before I move along to our catalog updates? Okay. So as you can see, we have a lot right now. As I mentioned, we have about 59 courses, and we have about 19 courses that are currently in the queue that are going to be published by the end of the year. So currently, the PDIS course catalog is organized around these three primary categories. Pre-service and orientation, pretty self-explanatory. Most of the courses that were in there were level 2, and then whatever didn't fit into either one of those kind of went into general professional development. This organization didn't necessarily help people locate courses based on topics or content areas that were interesting to them. So for example, if you're looking for level 2, you'd have to look through all of our 27 level 2 courses to find one that was actually interesting to you. So beginning this spring, we're looking at reorganizing the catalog around our competency domains instead of that kind of level 2 focus as far as the icons in the catalog are concerned. So we'll still have pre-service and orientation, those still count. And then we'll have the 8 competency domains is what you will see on screen. They will still, most of our courses will count as level 2, so that issue of what counts and what doesn't count hopefully will go away, or at least be minimized, because we're hoping that everything in here eventually that's within these 8 domains will count as level 2. You can still search for level 2 courses in 2 ways for folks who have questions. There's a drop down for level 2 courses, which again will pull up most of the catalog. And on every course description page before you register for it, it will specify whether it counts as social emotional, whether it counts as level 2, when it expires, all of that good stuff. We realize there has been some inconsistency in how courses are published and the descriptions. And so as a part of our effort this spring, the PDIS birthday is April 15th. PDIS will be 4. So we're no longer a toddler, and now we're moving on to a full-on preschooler. So we're ready to make some good changes and hopefully put some consistency in place. So
QRES had their 4-year-old birthday on the 15th.
Woohoo!
February.
The other exciting thing is we now have courses in every single competency domain, and until recently that wasn't the case. So originally we only had like 1 general professional development, and now we have quite a few. So we're excited about this. We hope it will make the catalog more user-friendly to folks and help them find courses that are of interest to them.
Great.
And that's all I have. Anything else? All right. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Jen. It's amazing how much Colorado Shines has grown and how much it's changed in the 4 years that we've all been together. So thank you all for being our messengers in the field and for supporting the system and giving us great ideas of how we can be innovative and improve. So hold on just a moment. We'll go back to my screen, my deck, and we will go on to our next piece. I will be sure in this to update. I have Jen's email address here. And so I'm sorry, Kelly, you were supposed to go next, so we'll get right to you. I thought I had it memorized and I didn't. But make sure that if you want Jen's email that you add a D to her address. I forgot to update the slides before we started the presentation. So
yeah, just like cheeseburger.
Yeah. So Kelly, we are so excited that you are presenting on your current engagement of parents and teaching them and educating them on how to ask about high quality care. So hold on just a moment and I will unmute you and you can let me know if you have a presentation that you'd like to do, because I can make you a presenter if you'd like, and we can go from there. So hold on, Kelly, I'm going to unmute your phone just a second. There we go.
Hi, Emily. Yes, I do have a couple of slides. that I wanted to
Okay,
share.
cool.
That'd be great.
No problem. I will make you the presenter.
Okay.
All right. So we're going over to Kelly down in Colorado Springs. So this is pretty cool how well this is all working. So we can see your screen now.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to share with you guys an outreach effort that went really well in our community. And it actually started to get providers a little bit upset with us as a council, but we were really happy about this because we see outreach really in two ways. You know, we've been focusing a lot of our outreach on providers and engaging providers and giving them the supports that they need to be high quality. And then we also are focusing on families and ensuring that they're understanding the importance of quality. So earlier this year, we partnered with our local Department of Human Services to get a mailing out to every CCAP family. And so in that mailing, the thing that you're seeing right now, we just printed kind of as a postcard half sheet. And so it gives them some information about what they could reach out to their early childhood counsel. Yeah.
Kelly, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Michelle. We're not seeing the posting on your screen.
We're seeing, I think, your other screen. We're seeing the
let's
kids
see if I bring it over.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go. It's much cuter, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So this was the half sheet that we sent out. And so just giving them some ideas of what we can do to support parents as an early childhood counsel. And then we also created a magnet. And this magnet highlights the importance of how children spend their day in their early years, impacting their future. It highlights us as their early childhood counsel. We gave them the information for Mile High United Way. And then we also gave them the information for our Family Speak department, which is really focused on providing family support. So what happened with this was that this was the first time that we have heard in our community. We had providers calling us and say, what are you doing? Because families are calling me or families are coming to drop off their children and they are asking me about my quality rating. So programs who were high quality were really excited about this. Programs who hadn't jumped on board yet, not so excited. But it has started to drive the demand for quality in our community. And so we're really excited about that and just wanted to share. And I think there really is some magic behind a magnet because we have given this out to some of our community partners as well, and they absolutely love it. We gave it to our McKinney-Vento liaisons, for example, and they just love that all of this information is in one place so they don't have to search for it. And so it's helping those liaisons also to connect families with finding quality care, which is great. So yeah, I would be happy to share any other information that other councils want to know about our rollout of the project. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Kelly, we're just really excited that it seems like it's taking off in your community and that we're really having parents engaged in driving some of the the quality questions. So Michelle had an interesting call on the help desk this week.
I had a call from a parent who was very upset with a program that was a quality level 2 and was wondering why they were charging the same amount as a quality level 4, seeing as their quality wasn't as good as the level 4. And so it was a really great opportunity to explain to the parent what the process is and what kind of questions they should be asking their programs about their quality level and what their plans are to improve their quality as they're working with their children.
That's great. So do y'all have any questions for Kelly? And go ahead, Kelly, while we're opening up the floor.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we, have had some happy dances of our own over similar phone calls that have come in to us because of this outreach. So
great. It's very cool. So, all right, Kelly. Well, if questions come through, I'll let you know. We really, really appreciate you sharing this on the webinar. So hold on just a moment.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm coming back to me. I get to make myself the presenter again, y'all. Okay. I'm going to give you an update on the business rules that'll be fairly brief in that we are in the process of finalizing those business rules, and we will share them with you most likely next week. They will be included as an exhibit in your contracts. So you may have noticed we sent an informal survey monkey about the barriers that providers have to opening a CCAP fiscal agreement. And what we would like to use that information for is to really define and break out the pick lists that we would use in the CCAP fiscal hardship application in sugar. So one of the things I wanted to let you all know is that the business rules aren't going to get into the weeds about the pick list, because if we keep it in sugar, then we don't have to do contract amendments should we need to update something like that. So we look forward to sending those to you and hopefully seeing some of you all tomorrow at Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference. Wanted to do a quick update. This is point-in-time data from earlier this week around Colorado Shines QI and the GAE, about how many dollars we've allocated, what's still on the table, and hardship. And then I also forgot to update this one to make it that's actually the last business day of March that the capital improvement grants will close. So if you have questions about any of these two items, let me know. We're happy to answer them. I don't know if anything's come through yet, Michelle. All right. Cool. Next, we have CSTAT. And if you guys will just hold on for a second while I pull up the CSTAT slide. So just a second. It'll be just a minute. I don't know why it's not letting me exit out. Just a moment, y'all. I used to do webinars every month and you would never know. So hold on just a bit.
We'll let you click on the link.
Let me see if it'll let me. I'll just do it here. It's trying to do it in Excel, Explorer. That makes me mad. I can pause it though, thank goodness. Okay, here we go. Hold on just a moment, everybody. You get to hear me think out loud. All right. So you all should have access. You do have access to this data, these spreadsheets that our most loved data analyst, Quan, puts together and maintains for us. So what you can see here is the WIG information. So let me shrink it down so you can actually see what's happening. So just a second. My computer is challenged right now. So okay. We have a nice pivot summary here. There we go. So Karen, I don't know if you want to speak to this right now. It looks like we are on target to meet our stretch goals. So this is great. So we have until June 30th to meet our stretch goal of 25.2% of all providers that are eligible to participate in Colorado Shines as high quality, which is levels 3 to 5. So we are working on that. I also know that you all know that the deadline for programs to begin to submit for level 3 to 5 ratings 18 months after signing an MOU begins in March for a lot of councils. So we anticipate that we will have a lot of folks in the queue and ready to go and rate. So the other thing I wanted to show you here is you do have this pivot summary on this page that is by council. So this is the Big Ten councils and balanced state councils that is used in the CSTAT presentation. And then if you scroll down here, we can see everybody. This is an amazing spaghetti slide. So take a moment and look at your, feel free to hover over this data. Just so you guys know, Quan updates it twice a month. So he pulls data through the last day of the month and then updates it, and then he does data through the 15th. So you can see how everybody's contributing to our goal. And thank you all so very, very much for all the support that you provide to our providers in the field to help them be successful at these ratings. So we know it's a lot of work for everybody, so thank you. The other thing I wanted to remind you while I have your attention is we do also have an alternative pathway tracking sheet that you have access to. So this is really where you can see the alternative pathway list, and it goes through a lot of review by our team, in particular Michelle. Give a shout out to our friend Michelle. And you can see it sorted by the different alternative pathways that are currently recognized in Colorado Shines. So I encourage you to bookmark these pages like I do so that you can find them easily, and share them with your QI navigators and your coaches if they're not on this webinar, because I think it's a great tool. These are great tools for them as well around kind of being able to see where their programs are. So, so thank you very much. And I will go back to our amazing PowerPoint, so stand by. Our last slide here for today is reminding you all about what I said earlier about the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference. We have these very cool pins and ribbons for our providers that and our teachers that teach at high quality programs. So this, you can see the orange Colorado Shines high quality program. That's something they can put on the bottom of their badge. And I'll also get these nice pins with the kid, our child on the mountain, reaching towards quality. So definitely come by and say hi to us. We love seeing you. We love meeting providers from your area. So stop by, introduce, say hi, and encourage providers that you know to stop by and get their pin or their ribbon. I think Julia from our communications team here is going to post stuff on social media if she hasn't already, so about these pins and ribbons being available. So if you follow Colorado Shines as a council, if you could repost that, that'd be awesome. And if you have any other questions, let us know. So, see, that's the end of our agenda today, and I don't know if we had any questions come through, Michelle.
So we had one. If we're unable to attend the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference, is there a way for us to get these, I'm assuming the pins and the ribbons?
Don't have an answer for you guys just yet on that. So we, basically they're for the programs who are high quality, so they do need to visit the booth in order to get those. So we can talk to Julia and find out if there's other ways that we might be able to distribute them, or you could, reach out and say that you're having conferences in your area or such. We didn't really mass order things, so we were really wanting to award the folks who came by the Colorado Shines booth at Rocky Mountain.
So basically we got enough to serve the conference attendees is what it sounds like. So we can, if we end up having a lot of leftovers, we'll be in touch. We'll figure that piece out. Are there other questions?
So there's a question about if our new director has had a chance to review the CSTAT goals, and do we anticipate any changes after the review?
So I can speak to that high level. it does, we have been told that our level 3 through 5 goal will continue into next year. We don't know exactly what that will, the fine details haven't been worked through, but engagement will still be reviewed, as well as the level 3 through 5, which will be reviewed like on a CSAT slide each month. So you can anticipate that those will continue to move forward.
Thank you, Karen. Do we have other questions? All right. Well, we look forward to seeing those of you that will be at the conference tomorrow. And we always enjoy this time with you, so please don't hesitate to let us know if you have questions. I also want to thank you for your graciousness around my webinar hosting and technology abilities. Thank you for being patient with us, and we look forward to seeing you next month on our State TA Day webinar. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.